Hey guys, welcome back to Battle and Analysis, and today we're doing National Dex AG, and we are going to review this Spikes setting strat. This strat is very interesting because their Roserade has mainly it has non-damaging moves, so any taunt setter could just wipe it out. But double toxic spikes actually is badly poisoned, and I think the Gothiele fake out does barely anything, and then leftovers, but at least you get the flinch. But then we switch to Roserade. Roserade is probably trying to set up its spikes, but then I think the best strategy is to just set up Stealth Rock, roar before the other player can do anything. That kind of doesn't help them here since Roserade has Sleep Powder, which will cause them not to be able to set up roar. They tried to use spikes, but then they learned it wouldn't work. Leech Seed, very interesting move for Bastidion, since it actually I think does more damage, since Bastidion is the weakness. And here we tried to do Eevee Last Resort. Well, we were trying to do EVMZ to Gothiele with the special power sweep, but that didn't work since we figured out that they have Roar, which would just get rid of all those stat changes. Here we use Spikes. They use Iron Head. Spikes is very good because you can set up 3 layers. It's very good for switch-ins, because by now we already have about 30% of HP done in the switch-in. So once we get rid of this Bastidion with Leech Seed, it'll take a long time and it'll be annoying, but we tried to use Extreme Evo Boost, Iron Head, Baton Pass to Gothiele for a stored power sweep, hopefully. But here it didn't work since Roar completely gets rid of the stat changes. And Eevee was back in. Eevee really sucks in this team after he already used EVMZ, since he has the move Last Resort, but Baton Pass causes it to switch, which means it can't use Last Resort. Fake Out does literally 0 damage since it resisted by 4, I think. And we try and use Cosmic Power to try and set up the stored power, which doesn't work because they use Roar again. And Roar is just really annoying. It's very slow. You can slowly get rid of it, but by now we've actually lost a lot of HP from the Stealth Rock Roar. But Bastidion's eventually going to die from the Leech Seed. And Roserade is really good with its Sleep Powder, because Sleep Powder puts it to sleep and immobilizes it from moving. But Powder is really hard to guess when it'll stop, since Bastidion in the last few times woke up after 1 turn, like now, but sometimes it wakes up after 3 or 4 turns. I wasn't sure if there's a sleep clause, but this Bastidion part took a long time. You can already see it's turn 19. But we spammed Sleep Powder, and eventually, I think I'll fast forward this in the editing, we had it defeated with Leech Seed. So now it's fast forwarded. He gets really low HP, and unlucky for me, the leftovers really actually make it another turn. But I try using I use Fake Out. Cosmic Power is not very good on, it takes a long time to set up Cosmic Power, and they take forever to choose Vaporeon. This Vaporeon I actually want to try out. It's such an interesting strategy. It's Hydration, Rain Dance, then Toxic. And it's a very good staller, and it's very defensive. And Hydration cures his poisoning. Then they gain HP from leftovers. Cosmic Power. I keep spamming Cosmic Power. And then they take a really long time to make their move. And they use Whirlpool. Whirlpool is very good for competitive since you really are trapped and you're forced to switch. Because you can't escape Whirlpool. Like, you can't snap out of Whirlpool, I don't believe. So, and I tried using Stored Power to try and Stored Power sweep them. And then the Toxic Poison and the Whirlpool makes you lose so much HP. And it's very bad. And since Eevee already used EVMZ, it's like the Stored Power doesn't do as much as it should. Like, usually it does like 320, but this one only did 220. So yeah, they use Rest. Rest is such an annoying move with a Toxic setter, and I really hate it because he has 9 HP. Rest, Toxic, and you're pretty much dead. And Hydration also, you can't catch them with Toxic or paralyze them. So I decided I didn't know you could Whirlpool someone while they're Dynamaxed. Surprised me. But now you see we have 2 Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rock, 3 layers of spikes, and Steel Surge, Gmax Steel Surge, which is crazy because now they lose like 50 HP once they switch in. And so once I get rid of Vaporeon, they'll beat Badly Poisoned, Spikes Damage, Stealth Rock, and Steel Surge, which I think is almost everything you can do besides Leech Seed. But Leech Seed doesn't stay. But this battle didn't seem to be going my way because right when the rain stopped, here came the Whirlpool and I undynamaxed. And I tried using Heavy Slam. Since the copperajah has he has heavy metal at the time, which really helps it gain that heavy slam damage. But now they use Rest again, not to my surprise, and get fully healthy again, which is so annoying with the Whirlpool and the Toxic, making it almost impossible. Then I remember I have Dragonite, also known as Lugu. He has a weakness to Stealth Rock. I always thought for some reason Stealth Rock was immune to Levitate / Flying Pokemon, but it actually does more damage, to my surprise. So that's why I didn't put on Talonflame, because that would do half of its HP. I kept on spamming Dragon Dance until I got to a round. So it started for some reason. The first 2 turns, Vaporeon's Toxic did like normal Toxic damage. So I decided, I could finish Dragon Dance till I get max Dragon Dance and sweep them. Turns out, for some reason, after this Toxic, he has 88 HP. Then they use Whirlpool, which is only 7 damage. And then Toxic does like 20 damage. Last turn it was like 6. So I know, wow, this Toxic damage is like growing exponentially. So I used Dragon Tail, and then this is the setup I wanted to do. Or you have Dragon Tail, all the stuff on the ground, and they keep on switching into this trap with max speed and max attack, and it'll kill you. But this Leopard had Fake Out, which really didn't help me. So I learned that I remember Dragon Tail was lower in the priority bracket, so I used Iron Head to try and get some damage off, because I was about to die from Toxic. Turns out Vaporeon, they switch in and gets killed 1 hit. Now they're in a very bad situation. Because look at this. I have all the stuff on the ground and they're forced to put in their new Pokemon. Talonflame. 5 times 4 weakness to Stealth Rock. That's not good. So I'm putting in a Charizard. You lose half the HP. Liepard, surprisingly, dies because I remember it has low HP. Now, Luxray, you lose so much HP to the Pointed Stones, Stealth Rock, and the Spikes. But he's badly poisoned, so I'll use Substitute to try to maybe just like get that badly poisoned. Then he has Wild Charge, which actually has recoil damage, even if there's a Substitute. So now Wild Charge is super effective, so I'll obviously gets rid of my Substitute. but now he's losing HP to Toxic. I switched to Eevee to try and, because I know Talonflame's about to die anyways, but they kill me. Also, I thought Eevee May could tank a hit. And then I put in Luxray dies, and then I put in copperajah, thinking that the battle's over. But then they put in Espeon, I believe. Espeon is a very, usually use Espeon for EVMZ, Hidden Power, Cosmic Power, Stored Power Sweep. But this time, they didn't have an Eevee, to my surprise. So, I was surprised, and I wondered why they had Espeon. And I don't remember what was this. They had Wish. That's the only move I know they had. Heavy Slam totally sweep them to the ground. And then they put in Mighty Hina. Now, I think they were in a little trouble, but Stealth Rock would have killed Talonflame anyways. So I decided to use Heavy Slam, but Protect. Then they got their Wish. I thought it was screwed over and the game was over. But then it turns out, I forgot that copperajah has a Rocky Helmet. But Heavy Slam does so much damage against Mighty Hina. They use counter, whatever, but the Rocky Helmet, and they would have died from toxic damage. That's it today. Bye.